You are all welcome to part 2 of the topic logarithm, where we are going to divide and multiply the log numbers with integers. So, as in the previous lesson, I told you that a log has got 2 parts, the mantissa and the characteristic. The characteristic is the one which appears before the decimal point, and the mantissa is the one which appears after the decimal point. When the characteristic is negative, doesn't mean that even the mantissa is negative. Like here, where we have a 2 bar, that means 2 is negative. It is only 2 which is negative, but this 0.645 is a positive. So let us do these simple examples, and at the end of this, I will leave a simple exercise for you to try. So here we are going to have 2.418 divided by 3. So this will be 2.418. We divide it by 3. Now, this one being a positive, we don't make any, there is no big difference. We do the usual division. So 3 does not go into 2. So here we just write 0 point. So our characteristic is going to be 0. Then we bring this 2 here. So here we shall be having 2.418 this side here after the point. So what answer do we get? This 2 is now carried on, is added to this mantissa here. So the mantissa will now be 2.418 divided by 3. And when you press your calculator, the 2.418 divided by 3 gives us 0. So this here we shall have 0. But now here we are going to have 0.806. This is the answer we got from the characteristic, because 3 does not go into the 2, so we just wrote 0. We carried the 2 on the part of the mantissa, so we had 0.418, but now bringing this 2, it becomes 2.418. So divide all of that, the answer you get is for the mantissa. So 0 plus 0.08, you get 0.806. So that is the first part. We are going to look at part B. Let me clear this. You pause the video, you rewind until you understand it. Now we have this one here. We are going to multiply. Now multiplying, this is 1.319 times 4. I want you to know that we have a mantissa and a characteristic. Now the characteristic is 1. Then plus the mantissa is 0.319. So these 2 are multiplied by 4. So we shall multiply 4 with this first, and again you multiply 4 with the characteristic. Now when you multiply 4 with the characteristic, you get 4. 4 times 1, you get 4. Plus, then multiply this 4 with this mantissa, we shall have 4 times 0.319. We get 1.276. Now I want you to observe that after multiplying 4 with our mantissa here, we got a 1 point. So we produced another characteristic here, which is a 1, and it is a positive. So the final answer will be, we add this characteristic 4 plus 1 then plus 0.276, we get 5.276. I think you have seen how we have done it. We have separated this characteristic with the matrix. We first multiply the 4 with this one here, we got a 4. We multiply the 4 with this matrix, we got 1.27. Then, because the matrix has produced another characteristic, which is the one here, we are going to add it with this one here, we got, then we get a 5. So simple like that. Now part C, we have 2 bar, that is minus 2.645 multiplied with 3. So what we'll do now, I'm going to separate this log number into 2 parts. The characteristic, that is 2 bar, then plus the matrix 0.645. Now I will multiply 3 throughout. When I multiply 3 times -2, this is a -2, so this will be -6, so we write 6 bar, plus, now 3 multiply it here, we get 3 times 0.645, we get 1.935. Remember, this matrix has produced a characteristic of a 1, which we are going to combine with this characteristic of a -6 or the 6 bar. So you have 6 bar plus a 1. Then plus this is 0.936. You have to understand here that this -6 plus 1 will give us a -5, and we write -5 as 5 bar. We don't put a negative in front, we put it at the top. So plus 0.936. So what we do here, we are going to combine our characteristic with the matrix, and the answer will be 5 bar 0.936. Now welcome to part D. Now part D, we are dividing our log by 2, but I want you to understand here that we have a negative characteristic, that is -6, which is 6 bar, plus 0.34, and we are dividing it by 2. So we shall divide this one by 2 and this one by 2. Now whenever your characteristic is divisible by the integer, you don't manipulate it, you just go direct, because this 2 is a factor of 6. We can get an answer without any remainder. So what we are going to do here, we shall say -6 divided by 2, we get a -3. That is 3 bar. Then plus here 0.34 divided by 2, we get 0.17, and our answer is 3 bar 0.17. That is the answer. So that one is very okay. But now the challenge comes here. I want you to understand here, we are going to do a manipulation like we did in previous topic when we manipulated the characteristic by borrowing a 1 or adding a 1. So here we have a 2 dividing, this one being divided by 2, but remember this characteristic is not divisible by 2. It is not, this 2 is not a factor of 3. We must make this one to be a factor of this 2. The same applies here. So these two numbers, you must pay attention. We are going to do something on them. So let us see. If you have a free bar, this is part E. Free bar 0.436. How can we get minus 3? Minus 3. In the factors of 2 or multiples of 2, we have a 4. We have a minus 4. We have a 6 minus 3. So this one here, we can easily say minus 4 plus a 1. You get minus 3. So we can use this. We can even say minus 6 plus 3, which is equal to minus 3. Put together. We can use a minus 9 plus minus, because I want to get, when do we get a minus 3? So that this one does not change. So minus 9 plus 6, you get a minus 3. So I will be having, but this one cannot work simply because I'm using a 2. I'm using a 2. So this one is out. Maybe I can say minus 8 plus 5. This is a minus 3. You see that, cancel this one out. So you see that I have a minus 8, which is a multiple of 2. I have a minus 6, which is a multiple of 2. I have a minus 4, which is a multiple of 2. So I use any of those numbers so that I manipulate, I change my characteristic here. So let me use the first one first. Assuming I take minus 4 plus 1. I say minus 4 plus 1. That is the same as my free bar. Then plus 0.436. This one divided by a 2. So I just bring this one and I add it on my answer. So I get minus 4 plus 1.436. This one divided by a 2. When I do that, I have got now a minus 4, which is a multiple of 2. So 2 is a factor of this. I will get a number without a remainder. So when I divide this minus 4, I divide it by 4. So by 2, I will get minus 2. So this is a 2 bar. I put together. So I will get a 2 bar. Then 1.436 divided by 2. What do we get? 1.436 divided by 2. You get 0.718 plus 0.718. So the answer becomes 2 bar, that minus 2.718. That is how we do such numbers. Even if you use this one here, so long as it gives you a minus 3, because this is minus 6 plus 3, it gives us the same answer. Let us use this one here and we see if we can get the same answer. Now it is negative 6 plus 3. Now when we use negative 6 plus 3, our number here will become negative 6 plus 3, then plus 4, 0.436, 0.436. So we shall get negative 6 plus 3.436 divided by 2. Divide it by 2. You can see that this 6 is a multiple of 2. 2 is a factor of 6, so we cannot get a remainder here. So we are going to divide. So when you divide this one here, the characteristic of negative 6 divided by 2, you get negative 3, or the 3 bar. You get negative 3. Now divide this one here, 3.436. 3.436 divided by 2. You get 1.718. 1.718. So you can see that this 1 and this minus 3 will give us a minus 2. That is the 2 bar as we got here. So even if you use negative 8 plus 5, you'll get the same answer. Lastly, we are going to look at F. So let us have 1 bar. So 1 bar 0.312 divided by 4. So again, you can see that this is a negative and it is not a multiple of 4. So 4 cannot go into this. If it is a positive, we don't make any changes. We do like we did in part A. But being a negative, we have to manipulate it and we find a characteristic here which is a multiple of 4. So what we do, we either we must get a number which will divide 4, which will be divided by 4, and we don't get a remainder. For example, we can take 8. We can say 8 minus 8 plus 7. That is a minus 1. Not so? We can say minus 4 plus 3. It is still minus 1. We can use any. So long as it is a multiple, even 12 can work. If you say minus 12 plus 11, you get a minus 1. So let me take this one here, a minus 4. So we shall say minus 4 plus 3. Then plus this part here is 0.312. So this one, we divide it by 4. So we are going to have our minus 4 plus, now this 3, with that one we get 3.312. Divide it by 4. So now we have got a characteristic which is divisible by 4. So negative 4 divided by 4, we get negative 1. So you write 1 bar. Now 3.312 divided by 4, we get 0.828. So this is our answer. So that is how we deal with multiplying and dividing logarithm is integers. I'm going to give a simple exercise for you to try. So now exercise is here. We have 8 numbers. You will simplify the following logarithms. Here we are multiplying, dividing. So try out. If you still have a challenge, please rewind the video. I've given enough examples for you to understand. So try out these numbers.